welcome everyone to game number 3 between a set between everyone's favorite YouTube and Twitch caster, T90 Official. He is playing in the yellow as the Magyars, and in the blue we have my favorite coach and my teammate in Harris Potato Cup, a 3v3 tournament with semi-pros like Luca and T90 here. T90's not in it, but you know, he is the semi-pro. And Luca is really disappointed that he got Chinese again. He says fucking shit Civ, and T90 says want to trade, and Luca says yes. T90's Magyars, and they're even asking if they want to save and exit, and Luca's like, nah. I mean, he did get practice with Chinese, so he knows what he did wrong last game, hopefully, and he can learn from it and do better this game. I'll try not to spoil the game, but you know, if I do, I apologize. I generally do, even if I try not to. So with Chinese, you start with 6 villagers, build 1 house, and you don't start out with any food, so you need to get sheep under your TC as soon as possible, and get your villager production going as soon as possible. You get loom right away, just so you have your TC active, and then try to get your villagers out. 7 on sheep. He did go 6 on sheep this time. Last game he went 7 on sheep, and then 3 on wood. Last game he went up one scout, or sorry, 1 villager later into the feudal age. And this time we'll see if he does the same thing. Generally, the advantage with Chinese is once you get to feudal age, you're going up at around the same time, but you have a few more villagers to collect resources for you while you're going up, and you have the civ advantage for as long as you can keep it. Bringing in a boar now. T90 doing very similar. T90 has 4 on wood versus Luca's 3. T90 is Magyars, and maybe he's feeling very confident in himself, and he wants to go with the archers. If we look at Magyars real quick, their archers get +2 line of sight, but the rest of their advance or their tech tree favors scouts during feudal age. I really don't think that +2 line of sight is what's gonna make T90 go archers, but we'll see. Getting housed. There we go. Still pushing deer though. And ready to go get his second boar once he makes 1 more house. Realizes his boar is not quite at the level that he needs to go get deer, especially if he's gonna, or sorry, at the level that he needs to get his other boar, especially if he's gonna take a couple villagers off to collect the deer instead of the boar slowing down the gather rate. Luca, on the other hand, collecting his second boar early, like I mentioned he likes to do in the first game. Still 3 on wood, and T90's asking, how's your map, ass? It's not entirely true. His decent wall off here that he sees, 2 golds that'll be inside that wall, and his wood line's not terrible. He's just very open on the front, so not as good as the first game, I'll give him that. He's not completely trolling. T90, I'm really wondering about this woodline. I get that that's a bit better for woodline. And why is Luca asking about the lame? What is he missing? He's not missing any res. And he has both of his boars. I think they're just, oh, what are these sheep? What the... Yeah, really odd. I mean, yeah, he's just going forward to scout because there's no point in and trying to find a sheep. I mean, no one's gonna find that until like they try to go find extra golds in Imperial Age or something, if it even gets to there. So it looks like T90 is actually going for archers. He's going out to gold, but 22 pop, and he's getting loom. And he's probably gonna go man-at-arms first. Actually, that's pretty late for barracks for man-at-arms. And now they're asking each other exactly what I was asking myself. Luca's walling up nice and early, just like he did the previous game. Yeah. Tiani must be pretty confident in himself if he's going man-at-arms. We'll see if that plays out for him. Luca did go up later again, but he doesn't have the Vil advantage that I thought he would have. He only has one Vil advantage. And I guess that's just from starting with fewer sheep. And he's going to go up to this wood line. Yeah, with a nice wall up like that, he has pretty good control of that wood. Tower could still reach him, but I know T90 hates towers, so I think that's unlikely to happen. So there are man-at-arms coming out, so was tricking him a little bit when he said archers, implying straight archers. I'm wondering if you click one of these trees, and now the villager's going to have to task all the way around the wood line. This is going to be open if he doesn't realize that units can go past the oasis, if he doesn't recognize the oasis is there. The men-at-arms are coming forward. Oh! He is going to tower, unless he's going forward archery ranges. T90, if you ever watch this, I'm just going to remind you, in the words of Vicious Marauder, aka Dave, aka your favorite co-caster, aka Luca's brother and Canadian. If you build forward buildings, you don't have any units to defend you at home. It looks like he's just towering, so it's not that big a deal. He scouted Luca's base and he knows this is a vulnerable wood line, and this wood line's not great either. I wonder if Luca even kind of implied that when he told them that that his base was ass. And he's only building his barracks now, so I'm really curious as to what Luca's plan was. Does he just not have the res to pick up? So he sees the villas coming forward, and he sees the tower now, so he's going to build a counter tower right away. When you have men-at-arms right on your doorstep, you probably don't want to wait any longer for any more towers to come out. You might have to wall lift again, so that's another villager who doesn't have the opportunity to help with building the tower. So 60% versus, well, I mean, it's pretty much done, completed. And that Ville's going to try to finish. She's just going to have to kind of run away. Alright, that worked out for Luca. T90 had to invest in some forward builds, and now he can build a stable. The only thing is, I guess the stone he didn't wall out completely, so he can still collect some stone when it comes time to build extra TCs. Good find by T90 for that doink on the scout. Looking pretty even still. T90's got the pop advantage because he's invested in the military, and yeah, he didn't make any archers, just man-at-arms towers. And I think Luca will be able to repair this. He could have made the tower a little bit further away so that he could have the reach to repair it, but then he wouldn't be able to hit T90's villagers when T90 wanted to repair it. So he has to split up his army if he wants. Now he's going to have to stick with his vills to heal them. The vills wanted to stay out of the tower range, but there's not much they could do there. It's well done by Luca to protect himself. He did invest a ton of military, and T90 kind of invested a decent amount with the tower, but they're looking pretty even all the same. Luca even has a little bit, a half bill lead. And now his scouts finally coming out. ready to counterattack. Though with Vills right here exposed, it almost makes sense just to go for the Vills instead. It's a lot on wood for Luca. I guess if he's just trying to fast castle, you can take him off wood and go build farms around the slumber camp like he's doing. But another tower coming in, and I don't know if Luca, I don't know how this Vil got on the outside either. I'm wondering if he has a hole. But another tower, and I think for this one he can wait a little bit longer before he counter towers and wait for the next tower to come in. Because right now it's just a couple farms that are exposed. He already has some buildings here. No, there's not a tree, that's just part of the scenery of the house. There's the TC here. Not a ton of room to come in. He still has time to re-wall behind. It wasn't like right here where his wood line was exposed. I mean, he could even move this a bit further back. See, that female villager has the range to finish building what she's building and go the way. So if the table goes down, then of course the units will be able to come in. And now Luca can counter tower once he has the stone. Kind of surprised T90 didn't try to wall her tower right here. Right out of wood and deny it right away. Would Luca have seen that? No, I don't think Luca would have seen that. Now he does. He made sure to make an outpost right there, just in case T90 tried to line. And if he wanted to put a house right here, you would see the other option for T90 adding a tower. That would be quite an investment though. As long as the Vills are inside the tower, Luca knows that T90 is not going around. Though now that he sees they jumped out, he's probably going to wall up right here just to keep him, yeah, look at that. Keep him from coming back here at all. Might be a little bit paranoid, thinking that he's looping the long way around this cliff, where his outpost might not notice. But just like that, T90's safe. And look at these Vills that T90 forgot about. Oh, that's a juicy meal for Luca's scouts. So Luca will have the Vil advantage after that. Before 4-5 Vil advantage. Luca will get housed and that goes down either. So he's looking good. He's building a market. The big thing though is, just like the first two games, he has too much wood and not enough food to cook up. If he also gets taken off stone, it's going to be ugly. Let's see if we can quick wall. Ooh. Unfortunate. Doesn't get the quick wall. Let's see if we can split up his Vills and get one of them to come back around and wall back. But I guess he's towering there, so there you go. Be able to counter tower with the other Vills. Luca's in a decent position though. With 2 towers here, all T90's really doing is denying that stone, which is useful for the Chinese player in order to get Chuknu in the later game. But at that point you can get siege workshops and that nice quick wall by Luca. Let's hope he doesn't lose the Vil in between that little gap. Oh, no. Oh, really unfortunate. And Luca says, what the fuck? And laughs it off. That's a good play. But T90 can't just stand under this tower. And he can bring the scouts back to try to help with that. Otherwise, Luca would have been able to stand under that tower and destroyed it. Luca will clean this up. So I think, yeah, Luca's ahead to score. He's looking pretty good. He's been able to hold back against this. Really now is up to who's going to be able to get up to castle sooner. After 2 games, these guys might be a little bit tired of playing, or a little bit, you know, a little bit rusty. Might need to get some blood flow going through them a little bit more. T90 has a ton on gold. Might just buy himself up, and as you can see that a lot of play with the markets for both players, because they see the battle's ended, or it's kind of come to a stalemate, and they're ready to just... What is T90 doing down here? This is another what? I mean, he was able to deny that wood line, so Luca only has one wood line until he gets Castle Age. T90's going for fletching just for his towers, and Luca's really making sure T90 doesn't tower this other wood line, because other than that, if that gets towered as well, he's going to be really messed up. So T90 really making Carlini proud, another member of the Age of Empires community. He really likes his tower rushes. Also played in Harris Potato Cup. He's going up. Probably going to make 2 stable knights. He's able to get bloodlines out of that stable before it's destroyed by the towers, which now have fletching. Oh, that was weird. Did I switch it? No, I clicked it. I thought I clicked the tower and then it switched to T90's perspective, but I clicked my hotkey at the same time. Luca, pretty far up. T90 is not too far behind. And T90 did take the Vil lead again, so I'm wondering if Luca idled his TC a little bit. Maybe idle his TC for one villager, 1 or 2 villagers, so you'd have the food to click up. But he definitely has the eco ready for knights. He has 2 golds that are available to him. I don't think this tower would be able to reach this other gold if he wanted to go for it. What Luca really needs to do is secure another wood line. He's going forward with the scouts to try to harass T90 a little bit, who's on this forward stone. Might as well get your forward resources before too much more pressure comes forward. So I like the play from T90 to go for the forward stone. And he's sending another villager forward. He's going to the town center there. Where are you going? What, one villager in here? Spearman there, probably just healing him up. And a house. Oh, he already knew that. Did he scout that? Put Toggle Word back on. No, he didn't even scout that T90 was putting up a TC there. He just, you know, even at the semi-pro level like these guys, he knew that this was a good TC location. And Luke is saying, I'm playing messy. Which, you know, I can agree to. I think it's pretty clear that both of these guys are kind of tired. And does T90 see... No, he doesn't see the town center, so I thought he might put up a tower right here, which would really have messed up Luca, but didn't see it. So where... Oh, she's going to tower over here on the existing wood line. That makes sense as well. Luca's just going to try to take out these towers with knights instead of investing in all the wood. He actually has a workshop and a battering ram. Maybe this is temporary, but, you know... T90 doesn't want to give up his gold. He's going to go ahead and make a monastery. Make some monks. Can Lucas see that? He can. He just hasn't reacted to it. Okay, I definitely switched. How did I do that? I switched perspectives when I hit the tower. I don't know what button I pressed. That was weird. These towers, man. Look at all these knights from Luca. I wonder if you could do damage if he's sent forward. I guess he's checking. He's checking with his scouts if he can go forward and do any damage, but T90 is pretty well walled, and I think he would need a Siege Workshop if he wanted to do the damage as well. I think the main idea right now is just to clean 290 off his gold, but he doesn't realize he's on it. And kind of take back his base a little bit. That's a lot of knights though he's investing. And what upgrades have? Very minimal. Investing his eco first, which isn't a terrible approach, but now he's off this wood line. He's gonna make another lumber camp, which is, you know, not the best position. He would give me shit for this if I made this, so. He did say he was playing messy though, so I'll give him credit. And walling the built in, so she can make another house. These walls are on a decent amount of HP, so even though they're still look small on the screen, that's for them. And, I mean, this is. I guess it's not a terrible fight for Luca. All these guard towers? No, it's just watchtower. And yeah, two mangonels, easier to clean that up. Where did this villager come from? I think she was accidentally sniped from all the way over here. That was like a magic trick. She just showed up. It's really interesting that Tiani's playing Magyars, and I does have a stable up, but he hasn't. I mean, there's his first night. He's just been playing Spearman Monks at the beginning, which made sense right here. It was a little bit later to Castle Age. So Luke is building his third TC, making a use of, I don't know, for whatever reason I have in my mind that Chinese are booming Civ, but they're not really necessarily booming. And Luke are making some houses on the far side just to double check if T90 was going to do even more towers. T90 has, wow, perfectly 100 stone. That's interesting. So even after all the towers and all the stone mining he did, he has perfectly 100 stone. Perfectly 100 for 4 TC if he wants to do the same thing he did last game. At this point, Luke is so close to these monks that you might as well just give the conversions and commit to killing the monks instead of running away. Likely giving the conversions anyways. 4 vills are in this TC, so Luke will be able to clean them up. He's not looking terrible. Despite some messy play, T90's not pressuring him up. There's the tower. Now that T90 has built this third TC on a stone, he's able to collect this stone again. But I just didn't feel comfortable going out here to this stone, even though there's a mining camp here, which would be pure resources. And I don't think Luca has noticed this tower. Is he just noticing it now? I just gonna put a wall out. Interesting. And does T90 see that there's a TC there? I mean, it looks like he just noticed that right now. I mean, this is all pretty hard counter to the knights. Luca does have a lot of knights, which I think could take this fight against the pikemen. Pikemen do have upgrades though. So yeah, even if he did take that fight and win, it would still be a net loss because the pikemen would cost him so much less than the knights. Repairing his mangonels, dropping himself higher power, and I think he needs to add some light cap to take care of those monks, because right now the monks are happy to, I guess, go a little bit further away from their units. Wow, that mangonel just has just enough range. Or does it? I thought it landed a shot. Yeah, T90 seems like, I don't know. He's still playing correctly, but his unit choice is definitely very interesting. And they're both trying to go with these wacky lumber camps. Maybe just... No, I don't know. Weird stuff. Monks go down. Nothing protecting the spears anymore. Don't know what these vills are coming forward to and do. Maybe house and then... Okay, maybe he's thinking of a fort castle on the hill, but decided he didn't quite have the unit comp to stick with it. What I'd like to see more of Luca is running forward. I guess he doesn't want to leave his mangoes high and dry on the hill. But I like that he's countering now. He's taking care of T90's aggression. I don't know where these guys came from. I don't think they'll be able to do too much where they are at. I think T90 might have forgotten. They're not going to get in through the walls. No conversion for T90 is really worth that long. I think he's going to just bring these guys home. They don't quite have to compete there. So the castle now is protecting this. Was that 3rd gold for 290? Got 1 gold in the back. Here. Shots from the mangonels. This is what I like to see. Oh, there's a 2nd or 3rd gold. Yeah, 290 definitely had the worst map. And he did an okay job controlling map control at the beginning, but early Castle Age, Luca definitely took control of the map again. Fuel Age with the towers is pretty good for T90. Just wasn't quite quick enough. I think a lot of it was just having a maybe not having the most commonplace strat might have pushed back a little bit. Now he's going off this gold, and it is a messy game for both of them. Just trying to figure out where to put vills. Are we gonna get a kill? But if they run into path into these light cabs, they might. Let's see, are these? I can't see what stance they're on. So I mean, with the number of knights Luca has, I wouldn't mind seeing him just running in, splitting them up here and there, and just trying to get some bill picks instead of sticking them all together. These guys are just big bulky. And if the pikemen want to come in, yeah, so now he went up to I don't know. I guess he's thinking, oh, I have a castle, I'm protected, but castle protecting a gold, not protecting most of his eco. Interesting game, for sure. He's losing his advantage. He went up to Imp when he didn't have map control. Luke is on 4 TCs. He did it pretty good for himself. I mean, these spawns aren't enough. Luke is now seeing that T90 has a castle. Magyar Hussar comes out to take care of the siege. He must be still costing gold, I assume. I don't think T90, let me double check real quick. If T90 got the tech. No. Oh, you did get mercenaries, so they aren't costing him gold. And the pikemen are coming out of the base to try to do some damage here. Let's see if, yeah, they decide against it. They're just controlling it now. And Luke is building his own castle. If Luke can trap down this castle, there's not much going for T90 anymore at all. Where is he building a castle? Oh. I was coming forward to build it. Yeah, we have map control like this. As long as you can shut down this castle, you don't have the Imperial to have the castle by that time. As long as you know, not have the Doubt Castle, control that hill, get the castle up correctly. He's at a good standing. We'll look at the bill count. Luke is 6 bills ahead. But T90's eco is just kind of all over the place. Luca really want to split his units. Really make the most out of it. He doesn't see a lot of T90's eco. He sees a castle here. And given the last couple games, he probably thinks this is all walled. Scouted it yet, because T90's been walling so much in the first few games. Looking good standing. A lot more siege this game than previous 2 games. I think that's what's lacking the most. That rating. I understand not wanting to waste your units, especially if you can't see what's going on. But yeah, that siege really making a good push, having plenty of magnet to protect it. At this point, Shiny wasn't making any more pikemen. This monastery. Oh, look at that. He has this little secondary area here. And I mean, even if T90's kind of gone with the, I don't know if I call it a troll strat, but an unnecessary strat. He still doesn't want to lose. He's still making the most out of this game. Relocating Zico, kind of probably trying to close this off. Magyar Hussars now trying to come in and pick off the siege, but this isn't coming. Yeah, they're not even doing this. Single Mega now. T90 really not wanting to waste a single unit until he has all his upgrades. He's losing quite a bit of his resources, but not wanting to lose any of these guys. Definitely making good use of their resources though. That's a clear sign that they're higher level players. Trouble we're starting now. And will Luca go snipe instead? Much harder for the Halberdiers to go snipe. Now Luca has the 2 castles right next to each other, so he should be able to win the Treb War. T90 dedicating villagers to repair probably both the trebuchet and the castle. But he's out of stone and needs to buy more. Will he realize? It seemed like he was trying again. But now he's probably just concentrating on quick walling all the units out. And I think he's gonna lose his castle. And there comes the GG. So I guess the takeaway from this game is T90 really does best when he has standard strategies for different civs. That's what he's used to casting, and when he kind of goes with a different strategy, it doesn't always work out. Which makes a lot of sense, you know, you're good at what you practice. Good job with Luca coming back from 2 games and winning this last one. Set of 3, 2 going to T90, 1 going to Luca. Very enjoyable games, especially that second one. That was by far my favorite. Even though not a lot of the action occurred until Imperial Age, that standoff just got me going. So if you like these videos, tell T90 he should play more often. I definitely think he should. I'd love to see his first person view